You're thinking about the next step to take, you're thinking about the Celta, and you're not sure if this is the course for you right now. Maybe you're already experienced, maybe you're not, but you want to be sure, like, what I shouldn't be expecting. This video is about that, what you shouldn't be expecting from the Celta. So I'll see you right after our vinheta.
Alright, welcome back everyone. In the previous video we talked about what to expect in Celta. In this video we'll talk about what not to expect. Walter, what's the number one thing that people should not expect to see in Celta?
I would say that the first thing I wouldn't expect is variety in terms of teaching, because it's such a practical course. Like, you take the Celta and everything becomes very methodical. You feel like you're learning a recipe for a writing lesson, for a listening lesson, for a speaking lesson, and then you might just be doing the same thing. So I think it takes that card off the table. Things are just very like methodical. You're doing the same thing over and over and over. So
But, since you're only teaching 8 classes though, it's not repetitive. It's only 8 classes that you're teaching. So even though there is a framework, like a recipe, as you're saying, for each kind of class, you only teach each kind of class perhaps once or twice. It doesn't feel repetitive. I get the feeling that when I finished Celta, I was a bit more methodical with my classes, which I think it's a good thing, right? Because at least I started teaching from a very intuitive perspective, doing what I felt was right and doing fun activities, engaging activities, very artsy, lots of crafts and etc. And then after Celta, I was like, oh, okay, so let's try to mix this. But sure. Well, one thing you should not expect from Celta is university level course. Celta feels like a curso técnico, practical. It's very hands-on. It's a course focused on teacher skills and not teacher knowledge. So you will,
in terms of reading, academically speaking, because you will have to read, because you have to write some quotes when you're doing some of the assignments. But in terms of like, it's not much reading if you think about it, like in terms of research. It's very doable.
I would say it's like 85% practical and hands-on and 15% theory and reading. And most centers, and I'm saying most centers because I'm not sure of this information, because I feel it's all centers. Most centers, they will have a library available to you, so you will not have to buy the books. If by any chance you're taking the Celta, ask them this question, because if you have to buy the books for the course, it's going to be very expensive. Grammar for English language teachers, Martin Parrott, is like 300, 400 reais. Do ask the center if they have a library that you can use.
One more thing that you shouldn't expect is depth. And when I say depth, I mean, because we talked about language analysis in the previous video, so it deepens, it heightens how much like your level of language awareness, but it's still at a more superficial level. Maybe I shouldn't use that word. I don't think it doesn't sound very friendly. It is just, it's not as deep as some people might be thinking. You do some research when you're writing your assignments, when you're doing your TPs, your teaching practices, writing your lesson plan. And by the way, if you're thinking about the lesson plans that are involved, looking the cards up here, because we have videos on lesson planning and they are there's a good combination with the Celta there. So do check them out. In terms of methods and approaches to language focus and everything like that, there is not really a lot of depth. You are not going to be studying like, oh yeah, what's the audiolingualism method about, who came up with that, how is that connected to a language, to a learning a theory of learning, taking a look at what Chomsky thinks about language, it doesn't go as deep. So you shouldn't worry about that.
Yeah, and it's not a defect on the course, right? It's
it's just technical, right?
Yes, it's a technical course. It's meant. I felt that the intensive course that you take in 1 month, it doesn't feel, because whenever we say intensive, at least whenever I hear intensive, it sounds as if something was something that is shrunk to fit 1 month. And I don't feel Celta is that. I felt that we were teaching every other day, and it felt very organic and natural to teach every other day. So I teach today, and then tomorrow I'll be planning my lessons and observing peers, and then next class I'll be teaching. And then it feels to me that the opposite happened. Celta was planned to be a 1 month course, and then not that many people can spare a whole month in their years to take the Celta. So let's stretch it so that people can take it while they work. But it doesn't feel drunk because it's only 1 month, and taking, again, a non-teacher to be a competent teacher, you don't have time to delve deeper into theories and methods and approaches, right? So it's the teaching of the recipes, the teaching of the techniques, which are great. They work. Go and practice, and we'll give you feedback on it, right?
That takes me to, and this is actually going to sound a little funny, one thing you shouldn't expect from the Celta are tears. Okay, if you're taking the intensive version, things get very difficult, and you do hear stories right out there. You shouldn't expect that it's something impossible, or that, oh my god, I can't do this is not doable. It's completely doable. I am 100% sure that if you got the English, you got that out of the way, and you want to teach, this is the thing you should do. I do have some things that I would be more critical about in regards to the course or the syllabus of the course, but I am sure that it enables somebody who's at the very beginning of their career to teach a good lesson. You shouldn't be expecting that will be.
And one thing you should not expect as well. I'm checking the official website. One thing you should not expect from Celta is failing. Can you guess about it? What is the percentage of fails in Brazil for Celta?
In Brazil, I think it's lower than 2%.
It's 0.57% of fails.
That's nothing.
And there are a couple of countries, for example, in Bangladesh, it's 0%. In Austria, it's 0%. In Armenia, it's 0%. Costa Rica, 0%. Georgia, 0%. The highest one is in Mauritius. I have no idea where that is.
And what's the percentage?
Which is 16%. But it's a funny statistic, because they have 50% of pass, 50% sharp. So it's probably like a very small group. Yeah. And then the percentage is crazy. But
if they
from
got
the ones that are
5
high,
people taking the course.
So Sudan, you have 3%. Oman, you have 6%. But all the other ones are 0 point something.
But again, very small market.
So, for example, in Ethiopia, everybody failed 100%. So it's probably like a 1%. Yeah, but the percentages are ridiculously low, right? So it's 0 point something.
When you look at the numbers of people taking the Celta in Brazil, it's a lot of people are taking the Celta in Brazil. Which is one more reason why you should take it. So, it does make a difference if you're looking in the market and you're looking for jobs in here, and then the Celta does make a difference. So yeah, Bruno, I think that's it for one not to expect from the basically variety.
Don't expect to fail.
Depth.
You will pass. You will pass.
And you are not gonna go crazy. Okay.
No,
it's doable. Completely doable. Subscribe to the channel, comment, let us know what you think. Do like the videos, that makes a big difference for us. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.
See you. Goodbye.